What's up, Patriots? Forge a Patriot, Gunner Forge. I hope you're having a blessed week so far and you're looking forward to the weekend ahead. Look, we're going to jump right into this. I'm going to be talking about Erika Kirk, and I would be honored and appreciative if you actually stick with me through this. I promise I'll try to make the best use of your time, and I'll also try to be respectful of your time and keep it somewhere in the 5 to 7 minute range. But without any further ado, I want to get into it. So, for those of you who may be unaware, Erika was scheduled to appear at the University of Georgia Tuesday evening. She was scheduled to appear alongside Vice President J.D. Vance. Her security team received intel of credible death threats. Yes, you heard that correct. Death threats against Erika. They were serious enough that it led to her following the guidance and advice of her security team, and she canceled her appearance. She put a tweet out. I'm going to throw it up on the screen, and this is what it says. I was so looking forward to tonight's event at the University of Georgia with our vice president at JD Vance. But after all our family has been through, I take my security team's recommendations extremely seriously. Thank you to our amazing Georgia chapter for your support. God bless you. And God bless her for listening to her security team and prioritizing her safety and her well-being, not only for her sake, but also for the sake of her children, who already lost one parent as a result of violence. And she was smart enough, and I give her credit for listening to them and not potentially causing them to lose their only other parent they still have left. I stand with Erika Kirk 100%. And she has no clue who I am and probably never will, and that's okay. But I want to make sure I am crystal clear where I'm coming from, because I've always promised unfiltered truth, and that is all I will ever do. And that's my attempt to deliver on that promise right here, right now. Now, some of you might say, well, what led to that? Well, I'll give you my theory on it. And my theory is the self-proclaimed one of best friends of Charlie Kirk, the OG original grifter herself, Candace Owens. She has done nothing since Charlie's untimely murder and assassination, but tried to monetize it by selling merchandise under the guise that she was using the monies to try to get to the bottom of what really happened to her friend. She has attacked Erika at every single turn since that tragedy happened that day. And now she's going to double down yet again, and she puts up this filth. And for the record, look, I blocked Candace Owens along with a lot of these other grifters because I took the advice and the guidance of a good buddy of mine at 4th of July 365, Mr. Star Spangled Maggot himself. Starve the grift. Don't even feed into their content, because it's how they line their pockets. They put rage bait out, they put controversial things out because they know that good people like you and I are going to want to say something because it is wrong, and they're counting on it. And all it does is allow them to laugh all the way to the bank. So look, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to put it up there, and I'm going to continue to talk while you read it for yourself. But is it possible that these threats that are now coming and intended for Erika are stemming from this trash that Candace has been spewing for months and months on end? The same person who proclaimed she was such a great friend to Charlie? Really? Was she? Because there's a lot of conflicting reports that would indicate otherwise. She was fired from Turning Point USA. She was fired from Daily Wire. She went out, was having a mediocre at best podcast, and then this happened, and I think she truly saw an opportunity. She took it and she ran with it. And I don't know if she went back on everything she believed or if this is who she truly was all along. And maybe that's the reason why she has such hatred and animosity towards Erika, is because of the fact that Erika saw it and she pointed it out to Charlie. Maybe that's why Charlie fired her. I don't know. I'm speculating, but I'm definitely not going to pass it off as absolute truth like she continues to do, because that's not right. So she started it, and then someone else who I'd never heard of until about a month or so ago, when I believe the Trump administration broomed her because she was less than sane and lacked common sense. She decided to jump on the bandwagon and she put this out, which I'm going to throw up on the screen right now. And she said, after all our family has been through, in quotes, do you mean after your husband was assassinated in front of the world? This is so weird. Now, before I go any further, I have to give credit where credit's due. This tweet had been removed by this Carrie Pregene person, but I was able to follow or find it rather because of one of my followers. And I want to give him a shout out because I will never take content from someone else and try to pawn it off or present it as my own. He goes by Jay. His handle is at JTC53. I've tagged him in the caption, show him some love, but nice job going ahead and getting that, making it public even after she deleted it. So you have two individuals who are going after the widow and now single mother of a person who at one point in time they claimed to adore and respect and idolize to a certain extent. Paraphrasing, not verbatim, not their exact words. Okay. And I just want to ask everybody, what are your thoughts on this? At what point do we say enough is enough? And we stop consuming this type of garbage and trash. Look, if I had a friend like Candace Owens, I don't need enemies. I'm good because any person with any amount of decency and empathy and compassion for a stranger, let alone someone who they say was their friend, they would show more caring and thought to someone who lost their husband and whose children lost their father than what Candace has done. And don't even get me started on the other grifters. That'll be a topic for another time. I want to stay focused on Erika because she deserves it. This woman has been through enough. She has assumed a role that was intended to be hers. God forbid, should something ever happen to her husband, those were his wishes. And people within the organization at the highest levels knew that. That's why she took on this role. She virtually had no time to grieve before people started attacking her. And now you have comedians putting on whiteface, mocking her grieving, and that's okay. Could you imagine if the situation were reversed? What if it had been a black person who had lost their husband and who was grieving, and a white person put on blackface and went out there and mocked them? Where would the outrage be on that? It'd be all over the mainstream media. It'd be all over the social media accounts. But because it's Erika Kirk, it gets toned down or it gets lost in the noise altogether, except for real patriots who want to make sure that what's right and what's the truth gets put out there. I didn't know Charlie. I never met Charlie. I had the privilege of being able to go back and forth with him a few times on X. It made my day when he actually engaged with me and paid a compliment with regards to my son. It was a little quick back and forth we had. But I didn't have to know him. I appreciated, respected, and valued the man for who he was and what he stood for. And I'll be darned if I'm going to sit back silent and not stand up for a grieving widow, regardless of whether she has fame and notoriety or not. Wrong is wrong. And Candace Owens and all these other people who won't come to Erika's defense, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, who's flip-flopped so many times, I don't even know if she knows what she believes in anymore. And the list goes on and on and on. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Where do you fall in this situation? Do you stand with Erika Kirk? Do you believe the lies and the conspiracy theories being peddled by this grifter? Maybe you weren't aware of the fact that this was even going on. So if one person I'm able to enlighten and help bring this to the forefront so they realize exactly what's going on and what's taking place, then the time I put in to make this video was worth it. As always, I thank each and every one of you. I appreciate and am grateful for each and every one of you. May God bless you, your families, our troops, our law enforcement officers, and may God bless the United States of America. Let's keep forging ahead together, patriots.